Good morning, everybody. This is Tonetta, your relationship coach here at Speak Your Truth. I want to bring you another 31 day of forgiveness because, of course, this is my second video, I believe, in this particular series about forgiveness for the month of December. Like I said in the first video a few days ago, I wanted to make sure that I, of course, presented, of course, talked about, gave my experiences about and gave my lessons about, hoping to, of course, inspire, to educate, and to, of course, have a light bulb go off in your head when it comes to forgiveness. I know a lot of times we talk about, of course, gratefulness and being thankful. Yes, I'm thankful for all the things that I have, but I know being thankful and forgiveness and gratefulness, those are totally different things, I guess I put it that way. In order to, of course, get to that point where we can be grateful and be thankful and all those kind of things, we have to learn how to forgive at some point. If the forgiveness, like I said before, is not for the person that you're looking to forgive, it's for the situation, whatever happened, and it's for you to, of course, be able to, of course, have a peace of mind, have a peace of heart in order to move forward and move on with your life and not have those things, those experiences or whatever you all went through hold you back any longer. Put you in a holding pattern. You're stuck at bitterness, you're stuck at anger, you're stuck at resentment, you're stuck at whatever it is, and you can't even move forward and can't even receive the blessings that God or whoever your higher power is has for you. So like I said, that's the main reason why I'm doing this particular series about, I guess not a series, but I guess 31 days of forgiveness to, of course, talk about those things, like I said, in my life that I've had to forgive people for, some things that I've, of course, forgiven others for, that kind of thing that I haven't fully 100% forgive from, I guess went through the forgiveness process on, I guess I put it that way. And the thing today that I guess going to be talking about, which is the family burial plot. I still harbor some ill feelings about that as well. Like I said, I'm still working through that. I guess I put it that way. I haven't worked on it a lot, but doing this video, I guess I'll be doing that. I put it that way. So like I said, some of you all are probably like, what the heck is a family burial? Well, what's going on with the family burial plot? I put it that way. For those of you all who don't know, of course, my mom, my dad was in the armed services. He's of course a vet. Well, he was a veteran. He's of course deceased now, passed away about 10 years or so ago. He's buried out at Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery, which is the I guess the government's cemetery for the veterans and that kind of thing here in the biggest one near St. Louis. I put it that way. He's been buried out there. Of course, my mom, of course, she's deceased as well. Been deceased. Probably about a little bit over 20 years now, actually, I think. 1998. So, yeah, a little bit over 20 years now. She's, of course, buried out there as well. But she passed away, of course, first. And, of course, the spouses of those who were veterans, if they're still legally married, they can, of course, go into the burial plot. Only 3 people can, of course, go into that plot. I'm sure some of y'all may not have known that, but only 3 people can, of course, fit in that burial plot at whatever period of time. As long as they're connected, married to, child of the veteran, that kind of thing, they, of course, have access to that plot and won't have to pay for burial outside of anywhere else. So, of course, my mom passed away first back in November 1998. Then my dad passed away July, I believe it was 2012, I believe. I want to say it was 2012. But, of course, he had gotten married after my mother passed away, like several years afterwards. She had passed away, and his new wife, of course, they hadn't been married maybe like 1 or 2 years at the most, I think, if that. Like I said, he passed away. They were, of course, still married, so she's, of course, the widow, I guess, of him. I guess I put it that way. The reason why I'm talking about this forgiveness in this particular video, like I said, I know I'm not the only one who may have dealt with this as well. But when she passed away a little bit after he did as well. So that means that's, of course, 3 people. I put it that way. Her family decided to, I'm not going to mention names and all those kind of things. I said I will not do that. But, of course, the situation, if any of them are on this, I guess this particular business page or fan page, or if any of them are friends or are on my regular Facebook page, I'm sure they'll, of course, see this video, which I'm fine with that. I don't have any embarrassment or anything along those lines at all. I'm more than dandy and free to talk about what I want to talk about. I just want to preface that before I even start saying all this. But when she passed away, like I said, her family decided to, of course, bury her inside of the family plot, I guess I put it that way, which I understand that she's, of course, was married to my dad, that kind of thing as well. But in my mind, they never called to ask me whether I was okay with that. They had no. I'm the only child, of course. So, I mean, so it's just me, my mom, and my dad. So of course, they hadn't even called me to even ask whether I even want to be buried in the plot, or whether that was my plans in the future if I did die, or well, whenever not when I did, but when I do die, that kind of thing. They had no decency to even call me to even ask me whether that was okay, how I felt about that. It wasn't even that long after my father had died, maybe like 6-7 months, almost a year, when she had passed away as well. So like I said, definitely I was just like, okay, when I was going out to, it had to be, I think, I don't even know if it was, it may have been, I'll just say Father's Day, because I can't remember exactly when I went out to, of course, visit my dad after that. I know I was going out Christmas, holidays, different things like that, so I cannot say. I think it may have been Father's Day, either his birthday or Father's Day, one of the two, that I, of course, was going out to visit next, that kind of thing. And got out there, and I'm looking at this cemetery, I guess, like, what is it called? The headstone, like, okay, why she buried it in this plot? And I had no idea she was even buried there. Like I said, nobody ever, I mean, I'm the daughter, which I know I'm not the wife or that kind of thing, but I'm like, okay, they at least could have had the decency to, at least, if this, I guess the cemetery wasn't going to do it. I'm assuming, since they didn't, because I hadn't even heard anything about it, that she was buried in the same plot as my actual mom and my actual biological mother and my father, of course. She, of course, which I knew her, she was, of course, his wife. I mean, I didn't hate her or anything. I mean, she was an okay person. I didn't think she was good for my dad, but that's okay. That's who he chose, and that's who he chose to be with. That was a choice that he had made. But like I said, definitely, it just was like, okay, the family couldn't have called me to at least let me know that they buried my dad's, I guess, his current wife at that time in the family plot as well, knowing that there's only 3 folks that can actually go on that plot. They didn't even call. Like I said, I was just so upset that they hadn't called to even ask me whether I even wanted to go in there with my mom and dad at all. I never saw them afterwards. Of course, I couldn't find them to contact them. But like I said, I'm just like, okay, that's the decency you would have. I knew that, which I know they had my numbers. I know that. And she had my numbers as well. I'm sure it was in her phone or written down somewhere at the house, that kind of thing as well. And they knew I was his daughter. So, I mean, they knew I was the only child. My mom had passed away because they knew her back growing up and that kind of thing as well. My thing is, you didn't even have the decency to even call me to ask if that was okay. I didn't even know she was buried out there in the plot until I got out there, going to visit my own mom and dad. I'm looking like, who in the hell put this on her? What happened? When did this, I guess, occur? I heard that she had passed away, that kind of thing. But I'm like, okay, I didn't think that they would bury her out there. I thought they may have had their own, wherever they want to put her, or whatever they want to do, I guess, to put it that way. So I was just like I said, I was very upset when I got out there. Of course, the cemetery, I know it was either on his birthday or the holiday, and of course, the main office was closed. So I had to, of course, call like the following week, that Monday, Tuesday, to try to talk to somebody to find out, of course, what happened. Nobody contacted me. I didn't know this was even possible. They had no idea whether I would even want to go in there, all these kind of things. Like I said, I was just very upset, actually, to the point where I was asking them to actually exhume her, I guess, out of that plot, I put it that way. Regardless of whether I want to go in there or not, I actually want to be cremated, so that's not even the issue. My main issue was actually at the family, because I'm like, okay, you didn't have decency, I guess, to even call me to tell me anything. I just get out there, I'm surprised going to visit my own mother and father, trying to say hi to them, good day, how you doing, love you, all that kind of thing, and talk to my parents, and here we go, somebody else is buried in our family plots, I guess I put it that way. Like I said, that was back when I'm 44 now, so it was like my early 30s, actually, when my dad had passed away of an overdose. Like I said, that was back in my early 30s, and she passed away, like I said, not even a year after him, maybe like 6 months or so, that kind of thing, after he did as well. And like I said, going out there, being surprised and seeing this lady buried in to me, in my family's plot, is how I looked at it. I'm just like, okay, what the hell is going on? Like I said, I was very upset. Like I said, I did call, talk to the cemetery office, trying to find out how could she be taken out of the plot? I guess I put it that way, because she wasn't, like I said, she's not related to me. I understand that he chose her. That wasn't somebody I would have chosen, I guess I put it that way. But like I said, that was his choice. But my thing is, they didn't even have the decency to even let me know. Like I said, regardless of if I want to be buried there or not. And like I said, I know I harbored those feelings for a long time, for years afterwards. I was so upset every time I went out there to visit, holidays, Memorial Day, birthdays, that kind of thing. It just threw me off all the time. And like I said, it definitely angered me. And like I said, I know I'm not the only one who may have had I don't know if anybody else have had a situation like this, but like I said, this was one of the things that I had to learn how to, of course, forgive. I guess I put it that way. I haven't 100% forgiven, because sometimes I still go out there, I'm like, I don't believe they had the decency to even do this. But as I thought about it, or as I'm thinking about it right now in this video, I'm thinking about it as, of course, I know her family wasn't that well off, I guess I put it that way, not working, that kind of thing. So they may have not have had another choice but to place her there if they couldn't afford a burial anywhere else. As I'm thinking about it right now, that actually could have been the reason why she was buried there. But like I said, I just would have liked a phone call, something just to let me know, so I wouldn't have been surprised going out there to find what's going on, why is she out here, all that kind of thing. So like I said, that was definitely a shocker for me, I guess I put it that way. Like I said, I was definitely hurt. I was definitely resentful, I can tell you that. I was definitely bitter about that as well, and I was definitely very, very upset and angry. Like I said, I was asking them to, of course, take her out the plot, and I, of course, would have had to pay thousands of dollars for that. They told me, because I would actually have to rebury her. I wasn't finna go through all that. So, of course, she's still there, I put it that way, which is fine. Now it's fine. Like I said, I still harbor just a little bit of anger just at the families, like I said, and that's something that I'm still working through. I guess I put it that way. I'm not ashamed to say that at all. But like I said, this is definitely something I'm still working through, knowing that I really did not, like I said, it's not that I hated her or anything like that at all. I didn't really care for her a lot. I was always cordial, spoke to her. I knew she was married to my dad, that kind of thing. It just wouldn't have been somebody I would have chose, because I knew he was already dealing with drug issues, and she was doing the same thing, and that's why he died. I put it that way. He had a drug overdose. I believe she did. I don't know if it was drugs or something that she passed away from as well. Like I said, I would have just liked to see him with somebody who was able to move him forward in life. I guess I put it that way. But that had to be a choice that he would have to make, or would have had to make at that time. But like I said, with all that, I just, like I said, I harbored all those feelings for a long time. Just going out there being in shock and just like, what the hell? She out here buried in with my own mother and father and all this kind of stuff. And I was just so upset. Like I said, I was upset for a while. Like I said, I can talk about it now. I'm not upset by it at all now. I'm just still wondering which I know I will never, because I can tell you all that now, that you will never, not never, I can't say never, 95% of the time, you will not get closure on anything or any experience or anybody that walked out of your life, or somebody that's cheated on you, or somebody who took advantage of you, or whatever it was. You will never, most times you will not get closure in those situations. Just keep that in mind. I know with this situation, I'm probably never going to see her family again. And I haven't seen them in over 10 years, but I'm probably never going to get a phone call saying they're sorry, or was this something they should have done. I'm probably never, which I'm not going to say probably, I will never get that. And I know there's a lot of folks out there that's, oh my God, how can you forgive somebody if they haven't told you they were sorry, or they haven't even tried to explain the situation to you, or if they haven't even tried to reach out to say anything about the situation, why they did what they did. Like I said in the first video talking about forgiveness, we all have to understand that, of course, why these situations may hurt us, and people have taken advantage of us, and people have done us wrong, or whatever the case may be, and we feel that we've been done wrong, and we're bitter, and we're angry and resentful and all those things. Just keep in mind that a lot of these situations, you're not going to get closure. You have to do your own closure, I put it that way. And like I said, that's why I'm coming to you all with this series, talking about all these issues, all these experiences that I went through, that I've, of course, forgiven people for, and that I can now talk about without crying, without being upset. I'm going to go get this person, do all these things. I can now talk about these things. Like I said, I had to forgive them. I had to know that, of course, as I said this morning in this video, they may have not had the money to actually bury her anywhere else. That's probably why they had to bury her in that plot. In my mind, at the time, I thought they were being funny, being vindictive, being ignorant, that kind of thing. But as I think about it as I'm talking, and as I thought about it before as well, but like I said, I'm sure they may not have even felt that way. They may have felt that that was the only means that they can use and can have to even bury their mom, bury their sister, bury their auntie, or whoever the family was. Like I said, that's what I'm thinking about at this time, and they may not have even known how that's even affected me. And just to let you all know, the people that you say have offended you, and whether they've cheated on you, or whether they've, I don't know, talked about you behind your back, gossiped about you, or whatever it was, or whatever it is. Like I said, those folks may not have any idea how these kind of things even affected you at all. I mean, the cheating, of course, some folks know that you'll be angry, that kind of thing. Most folks will just get over it. I guess the people who cheated, I guess I put it that way, or did the wrong, is usually, of course, they'll get over it, that kind of thing. Who cares? They're not even worried about this situation at all. But like I said, we're the ones who are suffering because we're the ones who felt that they done us wrong, they did us wrong, they didn't care about our feelings. There's no closure. How am I supposed to get past all these things? How am I supposed to go on with my life if they haven't even said they're sorry about whatever the hell that they did? Like I said, in this situation, I know I'm not going to get any I'm sorry, any kind of closure. We buried her and your mom in a father's plot because we didn't have any money and this was the only means we had at the time. I'm not going to get any of those things. I'm sure of that. I can just think in my mind what the situation may have been. Like I said, sometimes folks do things and we have no idea why they do those things or what the behavior was behind it or even what their situation or what the context was at that time as to why they did what they did. Like I said, I know I will never receive closure in this situation, I'm sure. Even though I didn't want to be buried there at the plot to begin with, like I said, in my mind, it just out of respect, just call and ask me, let me know what's going on, not just have me going surprised and going to the cemetery, taking balloons and going to visit my parents. And I'm like, okay, now I have somebody else in here that I didn't even really care for in this damn plot. So I'm just like, okay, what's the deal? And of course, having other family go out there, they're like, who is Lula? Oh, I'm sorry, well, but I just said her name or whatever. But who is this person buried out here and that kind of thing? And they're like, who is this? Or what's going on? Or how did this happen? I have no answer the same way you do. And like I tell them, don't question me. If you find the family, go find them. I don't know. But I have no idea. But like I said, that was something that I definitely had to deal with. Like I said, I know that in my heart, I know that of course, at some point I would forgive them anyway and move on with my life. Like I said, I'm never going to get any closure in this situation. And like I'm telling you, in most situations, you're never going to get closure either. You're never going to get somebody to come back and apologize. Or 95% of the time, you won't get anybody to come back to apologize, saying, I'm sorry for doing whatever it was they did to you, or however this made you feel. Those folks are going ahead with their life, living their life, while I was, of course, myself, and you may be stuck in being angry, being resentful, trying to figure out how you can get money to get this person exhumed out this burial plot, when that's not even in the big scheme of things. That honestly does not even matter. I put it that way. It really does. I can still go visit my parents, still talk to my parents, still have the same relationship with my parents at the burial site, and of course say hi to her too, I guess, if I want to do that. But like I said, in the big scheme of things, that doesn't even matter. I had to look at the whole situation as I'm thinking about it now as well. That if I keep holding on to all that resentment and wanting an apology and wanting to have somebody reach out to me and ask me whether this was okay and all those kind of things, I would still be living in that same anger, that same resentment, and that same bitterness, unable to even move forward. And every time somebody had a situation, there's a burial, there's a plot, there's got to go out to the cemetery, I'm of course being triggered because I'm all upset. Oh, I'm going to get them, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do all these things. And I'm like, okay, what's the point of me harboring all those feelings for? There really is no point. And like I said, I had to work within myself. I worked on myself back then as well. And now is doing this video, like I said, definitely to make sure that I know that in the big scheme of things, in this whole big old play of life, I guess I put it this way, in this big old theatrical play of life, that there were just some people, well, she with her family and that kind of thing, were people in my life, or my life, my dad's life, my family's life, that came in and had their little segment, I guess I put it that way. And they were only there for a season. So like I said, that's not, it shouldn't at this point continue to bother me at all. I guess I put it that way. Of course, I'm talking about it. I'm free. I'm not upset or anything. But like I said, definitely that's something that I had to work through. And like I said, I'm clearing all this right now, I guess, as I'm on this video. But like I said, definitely that really did bother me. Every time I drove past the house, I guess like the house that they lived in, or trying to see whether I saw her family out there or saw her, whoever it was out there, to say, why did y'all do this? And you didn't even call me to ask anything. You know what? Now I pass by. I don't even care at this point, actually. I can care less that she's buried there, whatever. I can still say hi and keep it pushing, that kind of thing. Like I said, we harbor a lot of stuff sometimes that we shouldn't even harbor. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, in the big scheme of things, yes, you always expect that you would get I'm sorry, or can we, or just even asking you if this is okay to do. But like I said, a lot of times people are in their own worlds the same way we are. We don't know what was going, or I don't know what was going through their mind at the time when their mother, when their sister, when their auntie, or when their grandma passed away. I have no idea they even had the money to bury her anywhere else, and they may not have had that. And of course, as I'm talking, like I said, talking through this video, I understand that now, and that's fine. I just would have liked some type of something. But like I said, hold on, y'all. But like I said, I would have just liked some kind of acknowledgement to say that, of course, I understand this. She's going to be buried there. Are you okay with this? Anything. But like I said, I will never get that. But like I said, we have to learn how to push forward, regardless of whether we have a resolve, or somebody came through and said they were sorry, any of those things. Like I said, we can't continue to harbor all those bad feelings and all those ill feelings, all those hard feelings, all those ill feelings. They create stress within us. They create health issues within us. They create headaches within us, all kind of ailments, all kind of things that of course was going on. I put it that way. Because I know I did have headaches over this. I did cry over this as well. I was just so upset. And like I said, that was something that I definitely had to make sure that I remembered and thought about, that I cannot continue to be upset and be angry and to have all these headaches and to want to try to get this money together to remove her from this burial plot, when in the big scheme of things, I can afford to go to be, I guess, if I want to be buried somewhere else, or whatever my damn wishes are going to be. Like I said, I can definitely afford that. But if her family couldn't afford that at that time, then I understand that. Like I said, then that's fine. I understand that. In my mind, that's okay. Like I said, I know I was definitely upset at the time, but looking back at all that, like I said, I didn't even have to go through that. I guess I put it that way. All the angerness and all the trying to find out where her family is and all this kind of stuff, it really didn't make a difference. Like I said, that was just me being, of course, of course, it is a situation for anybody to be upset. I'm not saying that I shouldn't have been upset at all, but like I said, it's just out of respect. It's all I say about anything. But like I said, I know I'm never going to get that closure. And like I'm telling you again, you're never going to get that closure. So why wallow in bitterness? Why wallow in anger that's going to affect you and your body and your health for over years? I guess I put it that way. And it's going to affect the way that you have relationships with others. And it's going to affect the way that God, or whoever your God is going to bless you in the future as well. You never know what God, of course, has in store for you as far as your future, my future, anything else. I know that with me in social work and me being a coach and that kind of thing as well, with me having to talk through families about grieving situations, I guess talking with families when they're, talking with families and people who were left behind when their loved one passed away, and helping them make arrangements and doing all these things. If I were to continue to harbor all those ill feelings and those bad feelings about this burial plot and about how they put her out there and they didn't even ask me and I'm all upset and I can't even go to the cemetery now, whatever it is, I would never even been able to, of course, be a blessing to the families that I'm, of course, helping going through their grieving process. I know that, and that's one thing that I'm thinking about now as I'm talking to you all on video. Like I said, we hold ourselves back from different blessings and different things that we can be blessings in our own lives and, of course, in the lives of others. Of course, if I would have kept all that resentment, all that anger, all that hate and all those kind of things going on, I would have never been able to at least even talk to these families, to even help them through their grieving process, to even help them call the cemeteries to, of course, get their loved one buried. I would have been triggered every single time that has happened. And I'm working with seniors and the elderly right now, and a lot of them are passing away. Just had one pass away the day before yesterday. And I'm like, okay, I wouldn't be able to even get through these situations if I wasn't fully healed and fully forgiven of that family, that person, whoever else, of this whole entire situation. Like I said, that would have blocked my blessings and being a blessing for somebody else. And like I said, when you look at things like that, when you look at your situations like that, that's one thing that you have to remember, that you're always, everything that you're going through, everything that you're trying to heal from, God will use that mess and all that stuff that's going on as a message and as a blessing that you can give to somebody else. So definitely, please, y'all, keep that in mind. I don't care if it's about this family burial plot situation or if it's any other situation that you're dealing with. God will always use your mess to turn that into a message to be of inspiration, education, and information for somebody else to, of course, heal and to get through their situations as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I just want to say thank you for whoever tuned into this video today. I saw folks coming in, but I couldn't see who it was. So definitely thank you all for being here. And for those who catch the replay, I hope that something in this video will light a spark in you today that's that's helping you through your healing process. Whether it's dealing with the burial plot situation, you had a situation similar, or you had something else happen when there was time for grieving, or somebody had passed away, that kind of thing, and how you how you're trying to get through that. Or if it's that you thought about what I said about the closure, how we're not going to get closure in a lot of the situations that we're going through, but we still have to continue on with our life as well. So like I said, I hope something sparked to you in this video today and something spoke to you in this message, I guess I put it that way. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Like I said, again, I want to thank you all for tuning in, and for those who catch the replay, definitely enjoy and definitely think about the words that I'm saying about forgiveness. And once again, this is my 31 days of forgiveness. There's more days to come, and there's more situations and issues to come as well. So like I said, with that, I hope you all tune in for the rest of them. Thank you all. Love you all. And have a great day. Bye-bye.